Ifeanyi Kudi. For the reckless killing of Chidi Okafor, and for obstructing justice, this court finds you guilty. You are hereby sentenced to 25 years in prison without the possibility of parole. A cry tore from Madam Kudi's throat. She slumped in her seat, clutching her wrapper. Ifeanyi's head dropped into his hands, his shoulders shaking. The judge continued, his voice like iron. Chief Kudi and Mrs. Kudi, for aiding an offender and tampering with justice, this court sentences you to 10 years imprisonment each. The courtroom erupted. Journalists scribbled furiously, cameras clicked, protesters outside roared louder, their chants echoing through the walls. Kochi sat perfectly still in the front row, her veil hiding her face, but her hands were steady on her lap. No tears, no screams, just calm, as though the storm inside her had finally spent itself. As the bailiffs led the Kudis away, Chief Kudi turned his head, his eyes meeting Kochi's for the first time. His lips parted, as realization hit him. His cook was the mother of the boy his son murdered. Kochi said nothing. Her gaze was cold, unflinching, the gaze of a woman who had already buried her grief and replaced it with fire. She rose quietly and walked out of the courtroom. Outside, the protesters cheered when they saw her. But Kochi only lifted her face to the sky. For the first time since Chidi's death, the air in her chest felt light. She whispered, almost to herself, "Rest now, my son. Justice has spoken." 2 weeks after the trial, Amodi Crescent was alive with the sound of drums and children's laughter. But this time, it wasn't for a wedding or a festival. It was for Chidi. The local primary school had gathered the community in their dusty assembly ground. When Kochi arrived, the crowd rose to their feet. Some clapped, others simply bowed their heads in respect. She wore a simple wrapper, her black veil finally gone. Though her eyes still carried sorrow, there was a new strength in her step, the kind that comes from surviving fire and walking out unbound. The headmaster stepped forward, holding a microphone. "Today, we honor not just the memory of a boy who left us too soon, but the courage of a mother who refused to let his death be forgotten." He turned to Kochi. "Madam Kochi, this is for you, and for Chidi." With a smile, he pulled away the cloth. Beneath it stood a gleaming plaque mounted on the school wall. It read, "The Chidi Okafor Science Aviation Library dedicated to the boy who dreamed of the skies." A murmur swept the crowd. Children clapped. Elders nodded approvingly. Tears welled in Kochi's eyes as she traced her son's name with trembling fingers. Chidi had always spoken of flying planes, of touching the clouds one day. And now, even though he could not, other children would reach for the sky in his name. Her lips trembled. For the first time in months, she smiled a small, fragile smile, but real,